Okay,
think?
so this is what I usually tell anybody that's a creator that says, "Hey, I want to do this for a living." I say, if you're selling a product, I say take out a piece of paper and write 3 letters down, and that is WHY, and then ask yourself, why am I doing what I'm doing? And a lot of people are gonna say like, I don't know. So then what you do is you have to start off and you go, okay, figure out like the best compliment that you can find that someone has given you. And let's say someone says you talk really well. Well, it's like, why do I talk really well? And I talk really well because I've read a lot of books. Why do you like reading a lot of books? And you just keep on bringing that down until you pinpoint kind of like the foundation of where that main question that you're asking about.
It's kind of like that mission statement
Right.
that a company has.
And so
You gotta
like,
build
let's say
everything
for
around that.
example, it's as a company, like, why are you selling chips
I
with
wish I had a
peas?
towel for you. I see a little bead of sweat.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No,
It's
it's
hot up
okay.
here.
I go. Let's say, for example, there's this guy. He was a boudoir photographer. Like, he takes pictures of. He's one of my clients. He took pictures of women that are confident, and I go, okay, why are you taking boudoir photos?
Yeah.
And at the very end, he came up with the conclusion of, I love making women feel confident, right?
Yeah.
And so then once you figure out why you're doing something, then every piece of content or anything that you're building will always go back to that main reason why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
if you ever go outside of your mission statement, you're going to be lost. But at least you can go, okay, I'm making this video. How does this align to the Morgan J brand? So I have a question, Morgan. Why do you love musical comedy?
I love doing my form of content, singing to people, because I love connecting with people.
Okay.
And I love creating a unique experience and moment for people.
What type of moment is that?
Something that they'll never forget. Something that feels unique and special to them.
Right.
It's more than just singing a funny song.
It's like this.
And that has driven my creative process very strongly.
So you have connection, and you also have this like unique musical experience.
So we have those two things, right? So let's say we're talking to me, or I'm a musician, right?
Right.
So then we take those two words and we kind of build that out to different types of pieces of content. How do you put those two?
Well, so then I would go, okay, that's cool. So connection and this unique musical perspective. Okay, cool. And then I go, what type of video are you trying to make? And you're like, oh, I want to make a video where I talk to strangers and give them bananas. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Let's just say you do that. All right, that's cool. How does that bring back, like, what do you need to do while passing out bananas to develop some sort of connection? Or as you're passing out the bananas, are you making sure that you're providing like a unique musical component to it?
Yeah.
Because as long as it's always matching those two things. So anybody can have any crazy ideas, but then it's like, how do I make sure that it fits within my mantra or my mission statement?
All right, let's take an example right now. So we have
Yeah.
Topher, who's our engineer, and
Okay.
he's doing.
Tover, is this making sense to you?
That's making sense to me.
Yeah. Okay.
So Topher's in a band. Big
Okay.
T, Sexy T over there is in a band.
Sexy T.
So let's say Topher wanted to build his brand's presence online, but he figures out why they're doing it. What do you think the first thing? Because again, this is music adjacent. What do you think a musician might be able to do? It doesn't have to be a comedy musician. I see musicians blowing up on TikTok and Spotify and things like that.
Oh wait, are you asking like how to get your visual, like your viral self out there?
Well, it could be that. I mean, you first of all gave tremendous advice. Like that why is so important.
Okay,
because I think-
so let's say Big T. Big T knows exactly why he's doing what he's doing. Then the first thing that I would think about, okay, where should I go right away that has brought success to other musicians? Oh my gosh, I know TikTok, because TikTok is a great platform that definitely democratizes your piece of content. That means you have a fair chance with everyone else that's always posting consistently. That's step number one. Step number two, it's like, okay, if I'm going to post on TikTok, how do I create a story that when people watch this video, they're inclined to be like, oh my God, I love his story, and he just happens to be playing music too? Because what's really important is not necessarily like how great that piece of content is.
It's the emotional connection to it.
It's the story that people can connect to. So an example, there's this guy, what's his name?
Charlie Puth?
Not Charlie Puth.
He's
Charlie
doing it
Puth.
right now though.
Yeah.
He's been building the song, and it's the first things that comes to mind is that he's been slowly, like, with his audience, like, what if I made a song about this? And then he has a post, and he keeps doing that for a week.
Well,
right?
I was thinking about, he's good because he's
There's
telling
also
a good
Ty
story.
Verdes.
That's what I was going to talk about.
Yeah.
So Ty Verdes, are you going to interview him one day?
I'm gonna try to get him on the podcast. Yeah,
I have a
he's
connect.
local. If you have a connection, I have a connection too, but I haven't been
Greg
able to.
Baruth?
No, this other songwriter, Adam Friedman. I'm gonna follow up with him and figure it out.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever need that, let me know.
I would love that. Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, Ty Verdes. Okay, so his story in the very beginning
He's
of
working
his
at a pizzeria.
what?
Was he working at a pizzeria?
No, we're talking about his TikTok video.
Oh, okay.
Right. So his story with the TikTok video, he's in a car, and he just has a really good hook, and the hook is like, "Hey, this is what happens when I'm feeling down," and then he just starts. It's so visceral, right? So
Yeah.
if Sexy T over here with his band wants to be seen on TikTok, shoot it vertically and think to yourself, what is the caption that I'm going to use or the first statement that's going to hook the audience to listen to my song?
Yeah.
So what my business partner does, he's like, okay, what you're going to do is you're going to take this song and you're going to play it 10 times with 10 different story styles, and then you're gonna post it up, and then whichever one.
What do you mean by 10 different story styles?
Like, am I in a car?
Uh-huh.
Am I gonna use a different hook? Like, maybe the song is about. Let's say the song is about bananas again, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So then the first video would be like, I love peeling this thing, and then the second video is like, if you love bananas, you gotta listen to this, or it's like, my girlfriend broke up with me because of these bananas, right? So you're testing out different content pieces.
Yeah.
And then you still do the song over and over and over again. And whichever one gets the most views, and you're like, okay, I'm going to double down on that concept. How do I evolve it to make it even better? So what Ty Lopez probably did, I mean, you see it on his TikTok. Ty Verdes did on his TikTok, and you can see it.
By the way, Ty Lopez is the guy who you see on
Right.
YouTube ads. Like, guys, I'm in my garage with my Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the musician Ty, what he ended up doing was he sang the song on acoustically. He sung it like on his couch, but for some reason, every time he did it in his car, that video just did really well.
Why do car posts do so well?
I don't know.
I have a musical friend who's always going live from his car. He does all his demos from his car.
It's acoustic.
And he's blowing up. He's going to be a star. I'm going to have him on the podcast. He's great.
So do everything in your car, dude.
Do everything in the car.
So if I was Sexy T, that's the first thing I would do. Then once I found something that was doing really well, double down on it. And then I would also hit up a bunch of, first off, I would go on TikTok and follow some hashtags, find like 100 creators that are 50,000 Instagram, 50 like TikTok followers.
50,000 TikTok
followers or less.
Okay.
Like maybe 10,000 to 50,000. Get all their email contacts. And then I would shoot them an email and say, hey, listen, you're into music, I'm into music. Let's do a duet, and we just tag each other on the TikTok. Boom, collaboration. There you go. And then now you're slowly growing.
Wow.
And then you can also do that on Instagram as well.
I see. I don't do that.
Right.
I don't do the duets. I find it to be too involved, and I'm nervous about how it's going to turn out.
Well, not just duets. I'm talking about like collaboration. So an example is, let's say you have
Jax on TikTok does that a lot.
right.
Yeah.
Trap violinist, for example. Trap violinist, he's in Los Angeles. He'll go to someone to their house that sings. He plays his violin. They sing, and then we just tag them. You don't have to do duets. I'm just saying, find a way to collaborate with other musicians or other creators, so therefore you can boost yourself. So remember, Sexy T has his band. Maybe he goes to an influencer or a creator, basically, that does comedy.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, you know what we could do? We could do a collaboration while you're doing the skit. I'm playing some funny music in the background.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like, how do I collaborate? Once I have a piece of content that is working, I double down on it. Then the second step is, where do I go to collaborate?
But and just to
You're talking about. I'm right now. We're focusing on is like strategy about how to get yourself out.